What do you mean you accidentally hit me? I yelled, holding my cheek as everyone stared. Guests froze, whispers spreading across the room. My husband smirked, thinking I'd stay silent, but I had a plan. My name is Brielle. I'm 34, and I've spent the last decade working as a corporate event planner in Chicago. I wasn't rich or glamorous. My life revolved around spreadsheets, schedules, and making everyone else look perfect. The smell of fresh flowers mixed with polished wood often reminded me that I spent more time creating beauty for others than living my own life. At home, I thought my marriage would be a safe haven, a place where exhaustion from work could fade into comfort. Instead, it became a maze of tension, silent grudges, and careful avoidance. I loved orchestrating events, watching everything flow seamlessly, yet I felt my own life slipping through the cracks, invisible under the glare of perfection. My dream wasn't luxury, it was respect, recognition, and finally controlling my own story instead of tiptoeing through someone else's whims. I always sensed the pressure beneath the surface, but I never imagined my husband, the charming figure everyone admired, would humiliate me in public. Little did anyone know, I was quietly preparing. Patience, precision, and proof were my allies. Every slight, every smirk, every move he made, I recorded mentally and physically, ready for the moment no one expected. If you've ever felt trapped in a relationship where people think they can control you, hit subscribe. Tell me your story in the comments. I read everyone. Let's prove we're stronger than anyone who tries to humiliate us. Click hype to join the community. The anniversary party was in full swing. Laughter bounced from wall to wall, champagne glasses chimed, and the scent of roasted meats lingered in the air. My husband brushed past me casually, then, mid-laugh, slapped me hard. "Stop overreacting, it was just a joke," he said, smirking. Guests shifted uncomfortably, whispers spread like wildfire, but no one intervened. My cheek burned, and a heat of shock and humiliation rushed over me. I forced a polite smile, concealing the storm inside. I decided then not to react impulsively. Giving him satisfaction was not an option. The real shock came when he raised a toast, publicly calling me dramatic and suggesting I overreacted for attention. Friends glanced at me, unsure whether to speak. Then my gaze caught the CCTV cameras lining the walls, a detail my husband never considered. My pulse quickened. Every angle, every witness in plain sight could become my silent army of proof. The tension grew steadily. He left me out of photos, sending them to friends with captions that painted me as unstable. At dinner, he joked about my fragile ego in front of the staff, laughter ringing in the air. I smiled through humiliation, while inside my resolve hardened. Later, he tried to gaslight me, insisting I imagined the slap, claiming I freaked out first. Every betrayal sharpened my focus. I began documenting each slight meticulously. Patterns emerged. Control was his obsession, but arrogance blinded him to the fact I was preparing a reckoning. The party crowd unwittingly became witnesses to a silent plan. Every smirk, every subtle jab, every whisper fed into a reservoir of evidence I would unleash at the perfect moment. What they didn't know was that I had access to all the CCTV footage, downloading it in real time. My skills as an event planner gave me an advantage, reading angles, anticipating actions, and recording discreetly. Every slap, every dismissive gesture, every insincere smile was captured. I had a plan that couldn't be denied or twisted. Behind my calm exterior, I plotted the perfect reveal. The evidence would speak louder than any confrontation or accusation. I would turn the humiliation around without a single word until the moment was flawless. Every detail mattered: timing, audience, and impact. I imagined their faces as they watched him unravel, powerless before the truth. Enter Janelle, my childhood friend and quiet ally. She knew my struggles and helped me analyze the footage, suggesting the precise moment for confrontation. My husband, arrogant and confident, continued flaunting control, believing I'd crumble silently. Tension escalated as I scheduled a private review session framed as wedding photo editing. Janelle reminded me patience amplified power and warned against revealing too soon. Meanwhile, my husband's arrogance grew, oblivious that each humiliation was documented. Guests and family began noticing inconsistencies in his story, whispering among themselves, unknowingly amplifying suspense. I watched quietly, my pulse steady. Every joke, every dismissive comment, every false narrative he spun only strengthened the plan forming silently in my mind. The confrontation happened at a small family gathering. I dimmed the lights and projected the CCTV footage on the wall. Remember my reaction? Watch this. I pressed play. The video showed him slapping me, smirking, and gaslighting afterward. Gasps filled the room as my husband's confident demeanor faltered. "This isn't," he began, but I cut him off. "It is. You did exactly what it looked like. Everyone saw it." Janelle stood beside me, reinforcing the undeniable evidence. Family members who doubted me stared in shock. Whispers turned to confrontations. He tried to regain control, but every excuse was met with replayed evidence. He was forced to apologize publicly, his facade shattered. I remained composed, proving that patience, preparation, and strategic silence outweighed impulsive reactions. Walking away, I felt stronger than ever. My life, career, and dignity remained intact. I no longer allowed anyone to dictate my story. My husband faced regret and a family who no longer saw him as flawless. I realized that patience is strength, not weakness, and that documenting and protecting yourself provides power. That night, I understood true resilience. It waits quietly, unseen, until the perfect moment. If someone ever tried to humiliate or gaslight you, you know how isolating it feels. Share your story below. I want this community to support each other when the world seems against us. Subscribe for real-life resilient stories. Click hype to help this story reach those who need it. Standing up for yourself is tough. If you've been there, subscribe and join our community. Let me know this story helped by clicking hype. Tell me where you're watching from. I love seeing how far these stories travel.